So I am going to start just by popping the key in and letting it prime up. So once that beeping stops, I know it should be good to go. Foot on the brake. And a bit of a long crank. If you watch that idle, sometimes it does drop down. It takes a while for it to stabilise up and get to that. You see that? Just dropped out. Doesn't always do that, but sometimes it does. So again, see now it's idling spot on. Rev up fine. Comes back down. It's a little bit high for what it should be, but I have been playing around with the settings just to try and keep that idle steady. So there is an IAA unit which I'm going to show you in a sec, but I have already adjusted that, so I am probably going to leave that alone. I'm also going to turn it off because we are inside a garage and I don't want to choke myself to death today. Okay, as you can probably tell, the bonnet is now removed. Really easy on these. Two bolts either side, 4 bolts though. You get rid of that, you open up the whole engine bay and there's so much room. The light can get in there, you're not clambering around stuff. It's so much easier to work on these, much better. Okay, so first thing I'm going to check is just make sure we get some power to the connector with the ignition on, which we do, it's not a problem, so we can rule that out. Okay, so now that I've got my headphones in, you can probably hear me a little bit better, and we've opened up the engine bay. Now, when diagnosing a car, it's really, really important that you stick to the symptom that you have. It's so easy to get carried away and start ripping everything to bits, testing things that could cause a problem but aren't necessarily the cause of your symptom. Spend your time, do a little bit of research, read into forums, spend that time pointing yourself in the right direction, especially on older cars where they don't have an ABD port, they don't necessarily have faults. This does have a lighting system that will flash and indicate if there's a fault, but it doesn't have a code to point you in the right direction, so you've got to stick to your symptoms. Now on this car, the symptom is it's got a bit of a funny cold start. It's got an issue when it starts up for the first time. Now, if you do your research and you know about these engines, you know that the cold start valves can fail, especially as it's 35 years old. The bimetallic strip starts to wear down, starts to play up, and then you get problems with starting, or it does start and then it conks out straight away. Now, we are part of the Owners Club. We do have access to the forums and to the posts regarding these, so I know the resistance values, I know how to test it, even how to remove it, and tips on that, and even replace it if that's necessary. So that is where I'm going to be focusing my attention. Okay, so at the back here we have got our cold start valve. Looks like it's got two 10mm on it. We're not going to remove it at the moment. It's got a connector on the back. I'm just going to be testing the resistance value, so I'm going to try and set up the camera so that you can see me do that. Okie dokie. So first off, I've got to get this clip off now. It does look like if I pull that clip forward, it's going to ping off, and I really, really don't want to lose it. So if I can get that, that may be enough. Oh, it hit the floor, brilliant, absolutely amazing. Right, so I've got the connector there. Yeah, that connector does look like it's been off before, and it does look a little bit damaged. You can see there, that's been pulled off. So at some point in the past, that has been removed, and by the looks of things, not very well, but the pins look okay. It's nice and solid. So this is the page that I was going on about. So how to test the cold start valve. It does have a lot of information on it, but what we're looking for is this test here. So let me explain a little bit of what I've done here. So just down the back, you've got your connector. It is a little bit fiddly to get your mic mirror in there, so I've just popped some crocodile clips on there. that run around the top here. I've cable tied my multimeter just so I don't have to hold it while I'm filming. And as you can see, 81.4 ohms. Should be around 80. That I'm pretty happy with. It's pretty negligible. Okay, so now that we're happy that there isn't any shorts, it's not open inside of there, and that the connection is not broken inside of the heater core, I want to move on to this end, which is the shutter, and I want to see if that moves freely or if it's all gummed up and a bit of a mess. So let's get into that. Obviously, you always got to make time for a little bacon roll stop. Thank you to my partner and the owner of this Figaro. Okay, so the next bit is a little bit fiddly. I've managed to get this pipe off. I'm just going to have a little look and see if I can see the little shutter valve inside of that hole. Okay, so this bit is a little bit tricky to film, but inside you can see that cold shut valve, and you can see some numbers on there. Almost looks like a 3 and an 8. Okay, there we go, it's nice and focused. I'm going to zoom out for a second just to see what I've found. So the air temperature in here, engine hasn't been running, it's about 13.8, 14, right? So 13.5 to 14. The engine's the same temperature as it is in it, hasn't been running. So if we come over to the page that we were on, this is what it should look like when it's cold and the valve's slightly open. If I scroll down, focus the camera, that shows exactly what this car is, but I believe this is once it's warmed up. So I do need to do a little bit of digging. The reason the temperature is important, manual states at -20 the shutter is fully open, at 20 degrees the shutter is about half open, and at 60 the shutter is fully closed. Now obviously that's going to be the engine's temperature, not what it is outside. It shouldn't really matter too much what it is outside. This should be for the engine. However, the engine, it hasn't been running. It's been started up once and then left. It's, you know, it's cooled down by now, and it's about 14 degrees in here, 13.5 degrees. So that valve, in my opinion, shouldn't be fully closed. So I think that's where our issue lies, is that that valve is shut. Why it's shut, I don't know. Whether it's stuck shut, it looks fairly clean in there, or whether the bimetallic strip that runs through and reacts to the temperature and opens and closes it is worn out. But I think that is going to be our problem. Okay, so we're now looking at removing that cold start valve and carrying out some bench tests on it essentially. So in theory, it's basically a heating system. So you apply 12 volts one side, ground the other, it doesn't matter which way around. That bimetallic strip reacts to that voltage and will either open and close it based on temperature. So I need to get that valve off, get it in the freezer, get it nice and cold so that it opens up. I then need to apply some voltage and see if it closes. If it does all that, then the cold start valve's fine. If it doesn't, then we've got an issue that I either need to rebuild it or I need to get a new one. There we go. Okay, cold start valve is off. We're going to get on with the bench testing. First step, put it in the freezer for 5 to 10 minutes. Then we'll take it out, put some voltage on it. Hopefully that valve opens in the freezer and closes when I put some voltage to it. Okay, so I'm going to try and do this all in one. This has just come out of the freezer. It's at 9 degrees, so that should be halfway open, or halfway open, which it is not. It's exactly the same as what it was. It's really difficult to get the hole down. You can see that's just come out of the freezer and it's still fully closed. So It's about 10 degrees. So I'm just going to see if that opens up when I apply power to it. If I can hear anything going. No movement whatsoever. So it's still exactly the same as it was, so I don't think this is working. I'm going to try and film it for you. Okay, so it didn't open up in the freezer, which sort of fails the first test anyway, as that is stuck in the closed position. So that's when it's heated up, that's what it should look like in there, with those numbers showing. You should see it closed. What is happening is this is staying closed all of the time. Now, obviously the resistance is fine, so the electrical part of it is okay, but I don't know whether the strip inside of there is damaged, so it's not passing any current through, it's not recognising that it should be open, it's not recognising when it should be closed, so it's reverted back to that closed position. I think that restriction, so there's no added air going through it, is what's causing the cold start issue. That's what this is for, is to allow that extra little bit of air to get to it on startup, and it's not doing that. I'm pretty confident that this is what's causing that fault. That valve staying shut constantly, even when you put it in the freezer, you know, when that goes to like -20, that should open up regardless. That should be open. It shouldn't be closed all the way like that. I'm going to show you now on the forum, but it says, look, below after 7 minutes you can see how the shutter has rotated closed. Well, that closed position is what this is doing all the time. So it's constantly closed, constantly not adding any additional air to help it start. So the cold air valve is faulty. We haven't guessed